Just waiting and waiting. Oh, there's your thing going off.
Yeah, oh no, that was you.
Okay.
Yeah, going live.
Your thing that says we're streaming.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, there's people. Welcome to Toronto, something. We've been filming pretty substantially for the past, it's felt like a week. It's only been 2 days.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's even funnier for me because I've hardly had to actually do anything except be a production assistant.
Right.
So people will ask like, hey, aren't you the talent? I'm like, no, I'm not the talent because I'm not in any of these shots. So I don't have to maintain visual continuity with anything that I'm doing.
I've been wearing the same clothes for 3 days.
Yeah.
Well, washing them because our Airbnb has a washing machine and a dryer.
And sorry for the noise in advance. We are next door to a place that has axe throwing. So
yep.
Why not?
Right. We are at a friend Ivan's place, which is a super chat came in. VB7200 says, nice to see you guys. Nice to see you too. Thanks. We already filmed what we wanted to film in Toronto, our style.
Yeah.
And then we had this special project where it's still an RCR review, but it's being filmed professionally. There's a good chance you're going to see it on YouTube at some far future date.
Yeah.
Like, there's a red camera, like, right. Actually, no, I don't know how much Ivan really wants to be showing this place off. But there's some serious rigs in here.
Yeah.
It was very tiring, and we're not used to this because anybody who films like easy stuff for YouTube is used to filming fast.
Absolutely.
And this, every single shot needs a discussion, and you need to. We watched people set up lights
for what, like 15 seconds of footage?
Uh-huh.
It was 3 hours to set up that shot, and I have photos. From the, I mean, I'm not going to show them here, but I forgot to show them to you of like some of the shots and how they turned out, and they turned out like gorgeous. I mean,
wow,
yeah,
yeah.
It looks like a movie, and I mean, this is kind of a what if RCR had a budget, like just messing around because Ivan, he's been on the podcast before as Ivan the filmmaker, which is exactly what he is, and so he has access to some really top line equipment. And so it's like, what if we did a review with Ivan and kind of did like a what if RCR had money and didn't have to go on a shoestring sort of Pennsylvania budget of, because really RCR, it's like 3 cameras. It's the GoPro, the Nikon, and the other
Nikon.
Oh, that's a Nikon too?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So yeah, it's Nikons all the way down. And GoPros. So yeah, it's nice to be able to branch out and see different ways that RCR can look.
That's it.
Yeah.
And even when you ask Ivan, he says, no, this is a shoestring budget because we only have 6 people or something.
Yeah.
Wait, we have 4 or 3?
Well, in total, if we don't count Oliver and Andre.
We don't.
All right, so then we had 3.
Sam.
Julian, Sam, and Graydon.
Graydon, and then Ivan.
And then Ivan. So it's a 4-person team. And then I'm officially listed as a production assistant.
I'm listed as a driver and behind-the-scenes film guy, which means I hold a GoPro and like film stuff.
Yeah.
Mostly I've been a driver and now an actor, but I'm not, there's no speaking in it because it's still an RCR thing. I just have to react. But even that's tough because you got to wait for like 40 minutes for them to be ready to go.
Yeah. And
even then it's tough.
Yeah.
It's not,
it's very,
if we do more of these, I would just want to be a writer. Even driving here in Toronto is different because just the skewness of the signs being different, you're using the metric system, and then there are different unwritten rules of this town. So I am concentrating very hard. and it's mentally exhausting.
It's rough.
So
I imagine. I wouldn't mind switching with you next time, like, because I like acting a lot. So, but that's something that I'm not going to pretend I'm good at it.
Oh, I'm sorry. And then I'm nervous farting all night.
Well, I mean, it's
nervous farts.
I mean, it happens. Happens to the finest among us all. But yeah.
You were saying acting?
Oh yeah, no, I'm not going to pretend I'm good at it, but I like doing it. And so it's something that is kind of germane to doing these types of reviews, so that if we ever do another one, like, I'll happily switch places with you, and you can like kind of sit in at Ivan's like place for most of the day and maybe pick up the dinner. And I spend a lot of the day writing stuff in my notebook for lack of anything else to do, because again, it's like all hurry up and wait of we get there, everything, you got to set up everything, and then after everything is set up, it's kind of like waiting for the conditions to be ideal. And it's just more time consuming than it looks, especially for as little footage as you're actually getting.
I mean, it's gonna look really, really nice.
Oh, it's gonna look so nice.
And then another real hero is Oliver with the subject car, who's hung out for. Is this still only the second day?
Well, did we do anything on Friday?
Yeah, we did do stuff on Friday because we filmed our stuff,
day.
And then White said this is his third full day.
Oh, no, but I mean, like, anything for Oliver on Friday. Oh wait, no. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Because
we filmed our stuff. And they were already at the park when we showed up.
And that's where we shot like the little like side of the road thing. And so he's been a real trooper. Dude. And his friend Andre, they've both been really good to us.
I feel bad because he probably thought he'd be hanging out with me the whole weekend. Psych, you're hanging out with the Visual Inclination crew.
Yeah.
Because, with me kind of just hanging in the background, checking his watch and getting all antsy and weird because, like, it's part of my production, but I have no say in anything here.
Yeah,
so which is odd because I'm used to running the show, but I don't know how to run that camera. I don't know how to set up lights. I know how nothing this works. I know how to generate hype and get a sponsor to pay for all this, which this video, when it's out, it will have a full-on commercial in the middle of it, but even that will be produced by these guys. So even that's going to look good. It's not going to be, what's up, guys? I just need to take a break to talk about us. Oh, sir. No, it's going to film out like a tiny commercial. So anyway.
Yeah. Like, this is something that you could legitimately enter in a film festival. Like, it's a super short film, but, you theoretically could, because there is an actual narrative attached to it.
Right.
But in the same way that, like, every RCR has, like, a narrative attached to it, because we're thinking of what it is we're going to say about the car and what it represents. It's just normally we're talking in the things we're talking about aren't visualized.
Right.
Like, when we're talking about a certain person who drives his car, we're not typically visualizing.
No.
Unless it's like a stand-man type thing.
Right.
And that's just stop motion, and it's like 15 minutes in the garage shooting stop motion.
Exactly.
And so it's not a 12-hour or 14-hour shooting day or whatever crazy number it was. But
yesterday was 12, 13, at least 14 hours.
At least.
There was 14 hours of me just doing, like, trying to sleep.
Yeah.
And then furiously concentrating, driving a car, sleep. Now sit in this chair and wait for us and then do this motion like 5 times and be super. I've never been more exhausted doing nothing.
Yeah. I have a mighty need to be needed.
Yeah.
It's just like you want
people. Time does not pass quickly.
It's that
when you have nothing to do.
I asked, like, hey, if anybody needs anything, and no one ever needs anything. And so it feels weird because it's like, how can I make your job go faster? It's like, you really can't, because unless you are experienced in breaking down this specific equipment or setting up this specific equipment, it's going to take more time for them to explain to you how to do it and show you how to do it than it would be for them to just do it themselves. So there's no way to really help and make it go faster.
But I can't leave. because that's kind of rude.
Yeah.
And 2, I may be needed for one thing at one point.
Yeah.
I guess this is what filmmaking is, and I honestly don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I'm not cut out for this.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, like, but I mean, it's okay to do like once.
Yeah.
Like we've done it. It's done.
Yeah.
Or going to be done.
Yeah.
And if we ever do it again, obviously we'll scale back on like the ambitiousness of it. But it's something where we realize, like, okay, there is no way to do this that doesn't involve very long hours and very long days in a sequence where you're asking of somebody a tremendous time commitment who maybe, if these people aren't being sort of compensated beyond getting to be in it and our thanks and getting to meet us, whatever that's worth.
Whatever that's worth.
And so, I mean, yeah, I understand, like, filmmakers and people who even are on, on some show as presenters. Like, I imagine it's probably...
that's got to be tough. Like real Top Gear, doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, Oliver was telling me about this because he's done, like, TV. And last night, as we were, like, packed up and getting ready to go... Oh, no, I thought that was the text. It wasn't. I'm still waiting on the text to let me back into the Facebook group. He said that by now, like 2 hours ago, the talent would be asleep in the trailer while they're like breaking down all this stuff. So like I imagine the Top Gear guys, they have their own trailer. It might not be luxurious, but they have their own place where they can go decompress. No one's going to bug them. They have a bed there. They have a fridge. They have a coffee maker, whatever. But this, I mean, I kind of like, we did have a coffee maker. We did, and we did have a cooler full of snacks, and so it was just nice to, and we were allowed to pee anywhere on the property we were using. Like, he's like, oh, then go number one wherever you want. It's just great. But yeah, it's a very, it was a learning experience, which is the most important thing that I can say about it.
Yeah, it is a learning experience. Every year is something new for us. So Frank Albright says, stuck on the side of the road in South Dakota with a bad throttle position sensor. Good, I caught you live. Love you guys. Thank you, Frank.
Is there anyone up?
Up? Nah. I mean, yeah, but
nice
to see you guys. We got him. Bryce Taylor. Hello, Bryce. Can't make it. Hope the turnout is good tomorrow. It probably is because the Straight Pipe guys retweeted us. So...
yeah.
It's going to be a lot of people. It's only for an hour, so it's a quick hi and kind of bye.
Yeah.
Not that I hope we don't take over that parking lot. It's kind of like I don't want it to last too long because I don't want there to be trouble because we're in a major metropolitan area. And also time constraints mean we were able to have a meet. It's just not as long as it probably would be.
Yeah. May I see your phone by chance?
Yeah.
Because my phone number is not receiving this code, and I'm thinking maybe yours will.
Okay.
It's similar to the door situation when you tried to call me.
Right.
Maybe I'm just not getting texts right now. I mean, I can look up your number. You don't need to give it to me because we're live.
Right.
But yeah. Wait, are your regular number or the RCR number?
There's two?
Yeah, there's the one that's...
my Google Voice or the phone's actual number.
Is it that one?
Yeah, that's probably it.
Or that one?
Well, I'm sorry, I'm lost.
Oh, because I have two numbers for you. So
right.
There's that one.
That, yeah.
And is that to that phone?
They both go to this phone.
Oh, they both go to this phone? All right.
Yeah.
So then I'm just going to enter this number.
I think because we're in Canada, I have to turn roaming on. I think that was my problem.
Oh, all right.
All weekend, and I didn't turn roaming on.
All right.
All right. I'll let you know if this thing buzzes.
Oh, did you let them know about the Forester?
Let who know about the Forester?
No, these folks.
Oh, yeah, the Forester's fine.
Yeah.
We found an alternator at Part Source, literally up the road. It went in like literally 20 minutes. Sorry for saying literally. Rob Lowe from Parks and Rec catchphrase. So Subaru, no problem to change the alternator. It's a little bit loud, but maybe it's just breaking in.
Yeah.
Just whining a bit.
Well, I think the Axe people are getting a little deep in their cups, so to say, because I can't imagine that there isn't booze flowing in there.
Yeah.
Ooh, did something come? Oh, snap. I might actually be getting back into the Facebook group today. Basically, I've been locked out of the Facebook.
Zor says, imagine a world where the Brits won the Revolutionary War and North America remained part of Europe. What would cars in this world be like? I guess maybe we drive on the other side of the road, but maybe we wouldn't. I guess would we be using euros, or if the UK or Britain still had the States, would they never join the EU because the economy of this country would pop up theirs, and so it would all be British pounds? Or would we all be like North America, like Canada and the US would be one under the crown? Who knows? I'm kind of going with that, fitting that we're in Toronto right now. I think if the Brits won, Canada and the UK would be just North America. Or maybe we'd all be Canada. Who knows? Or these states united. But again, you see, there was two meetings of the Continental Congress before the Declaration of Independence. So you'd have to... But then the UK was also at war with somebody else at the same time they were at war with the colonies, right? Were they at war with France, or were they at war with Spain or something like that?
I don't know. My mom would be my phone a friend for history.
Good question, though. Thank you. John Bailey doesn't have a question, but thank you for your donation. Mark Zamet says, I've been waiting years for this moment. As have I, Mark. Hey, Ivan.
Hey, Ivan.
Ivan's back.
We're podcasting. Well,
we're streaming.
Live streaming.
Yeah, we're doing that. The footage is amazing. How's Oliver doing?
He seems good.
He seems good?
He's in good spirits?
All right. I definitely want him on here because I think he was waiting. I'm worried that he was thinking that like he would have an entire weekend hanging out with us, and he's kind of like part of a serious film project. So when he comes in, just have him pull up a chair and just talk.
Yeah,
He's coming up. He's gonna stay for dinner. So.
Oh, good. They deserve to be here.
Good.
You guys want to start figuring out where you're gonna order from? Because that seems to always
That's a
take
good
us a long
question.
time.
Yeah.
So I told them the same thing. Start thinking about what they want to eat. We're gonna be a little while unloading. So.
Okay.
Rock and roll.
Talking about food. IBT says, big fan, favorite reviewed car, the favorite car I've ever reviewed. That not necessarily, okay, I'm taking that as not necessarily the best car to drive, but my favorite car to actually show. You know, it's probably going to be the weirdest and craziest. It's probably going to be Justin and Corey's Turbo LS Winnebago. That was one for the ages. So I'm going with that, IBT. Thank you. Paul Wagner says, RCR with Big Daddy General dollars, General Motor dollars.
The funny thing about it is, ever since I came up here, and someone from the who came to the RCR meet back home mentioned, and correctly mentioned, that I had completely forgotten how vital Canada was to the Pontiac story, in the sense that when GM was sort of shuttering General Motors, a lot of Pontiacs sort of moved up here. And that was something that was kind of elided in my story, and I kind of wish that I could go back and add to it to kind of talk about how so many Pontiacs ended up here, because ever since I got here, there's been a Pontiac in every lot that I've gotten to, and 90% of them are all vibes. But I've seen like a G6 or two. But it's just so strange to me that I've seen more Pontiacs here in 4 days than I've seen back at home in 4 months.
True.
Like, it's crazy. And it's something that, well, I mean, it's not crazy because it's a dead brand. It's like if you see a Mercury, like we already saw the Marauder at the gas station. And
it turned out that guy was an RCR fan. He DM'd me on Instagram.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Small world.
Yeah, we should have said something.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just interesting to me that the cars, when you come up here, and all the things that you learn. And I'm sure Oliver will talk more about it once he gets here, about how insurance works here, because it's just insane to me what it is that, how it's regulated and what they're paying per month.
Right.
But yeah.
John Bailey doesn't have a question, but thank you for your donation. Coming down, I hear the door to the studio open again. Scrolling down. Oh,
here
he is, Oliver, the man of the hour.
Man of the hour.
We're on. Pull up a
live stream.
Pull up a chair.
Where's the chair?
Something.
Yeah, nice. I don't think it even comes out on the camera.
Oliver's getting a drink. He'll be with us in a minute.
Yeah. Oh. People.
Okay. Also, Oliver and Andre can float in and out of this. We're live streaming right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So, welcome to the show, Oliver.
Welcome to the show, Oliver, the real trooper, for hanging in here, and also Andre.
Oliver and Andre, two heroes.
The heroes and the owner of the hero car that's been filmed for 3 days. Are they wrapping right now?
Yes.
Okay, you're finally done.
We're all done. All the shooting is done. All the Gardner stuff was done.
Yeah.
We only had one person pissed off at us, and one guy cut us off from New York.
Nice.
New Yorkers.
Fucking Americans.
We're all out here just doing whatever.
So,
are you 21?
No, it's 19 here.
Oh, so you can have a drink.
Yes, but I'm driving home.
Well, wait. Yesterday we went to that restaurant, and the waitress asked like what you wanted to drink, and you admitted that you weren't of age.
I straight up said no. I'm good. And also I was driving. I was the one driving the food truck, so I didn't want to.
See, good guy.
Yeah,
because she wasn't carding, and she easily would have believed you because she's like, man, I know that you're not like, but she said you look like you could be, or that you're close, And so, I don't know. That was a really cool waitress.
Leftist tech support doesn't have a question, but thank you for your donation. John Bailey again says, would you guys do an international scout if given the opportunity? The answer is yes. I've had some interesting offers. They've been kind of far away, but again, it's convenience and location and availability that helps. A willingness to travel to Hamburg-ish, Pennsylvania, or to be in a city where we're going to be in the future. But yeah, international scout is something I want to do. Thank you, John. So while I scroll to the next one, I don't know. We have to check with Ivan since he's the one running the show here. If we can talk about the subject car and how it's been dealing with this very unique task of city, stop, idle, wait, city, stop. How's the temperature doing?
Okay, because what I did before this, like ever since you called me, I've been gradually preparing it for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go do 3-hour test runs of 40-degree plus heat and 60% humidity.
Yeah.
And just heavy stop-start traffic.
Yeah.
See if anything explodes. Because I'd rather explode then than now.
Yeah.
So
it's a good way to
same thing. I took it from Toronto all the way up to Quebec City and back through Montreal.
How long does that take?
I don't know. I spent 4 days.
Yo. Oh, wait. Well, I guess you're in university, right? What year?
I finished first going second.
Do you do the freshman, sophomore, junior, senior nomenclature here?
Yes, but they don't really talk about it like they do there. Like it doesn't really. People don't define you as it.
Oh.
Unless I don't like to use that terminology, but they're just like, what year are you in? Second.
I.
Yeah, just I.
My chief. Okay.
So wow, that was a 4-day trip.
I bottomed the suspension in Montreal 11 times, and then felt like the subframe, non-existent subframe, shifted a bunch.
Maybe some people in the comments are going to figure out what type of car it is.
Yeah, here's a hint. This one, the original key. That's your hint. Good luck.
Good luck.
I'm sure somebody will figure it out.
It's a fun guessing game.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's so.
Good meme.
I mean, to what extent is it actually obscure, though?
I mean, people know about it,
Because
and
it
even when
lasted
we were
into
out there,
the
people
2000s.
were waving high.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I've only seen like a couple of
Yeah, no,
these,
up.
and it's more like up north or like in very like beach towns.
Okay.
That's
Now, Quebec
where I've
has
seen them.
Quebec has a lot more of them. I don't know why, but over there they call them by a different name, by the European name.
I want to see the rig.
Do people want to see the rig? Okay, are they allowed to see it?
Here, I can move my.
All right, special treat. We're going to get to your Super Chat questions, but Ivan is about to show something that's been filming the new thing. That's about $35,000 in USD.
No, well, no,
No?
maybe 20.
Oh, okay.
We're using the smaller one.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, stable car-to-car shots.
Way stabler. It was weird watching that thing when we were on the road because it seemed to be moving way too much.
Yeah,
I guess because
but
of
that's
the
point.
the
These-
wobblers at
these
the
save
bottom.
everything. Come on.
Huh?
These wires take up all the shots. We're going over speed bumps and barely seeing them.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get back to it.
All right.
Money's worth.
That is why we had to get a sponsor just for this, and even this was sort of. I can't believe that this is considered a shoestring budget in the real world of filmmaking. Riot Punch says y'all should come to Collingwood. Is that a? What is
That's
that?
directly north. It's like cottage country. Everyone who lives in Collingwood's going to get pissed at me for saying that, but it's like beach town, kind of.
Is it?
Kinda.
Oh, is it lakefront stuff?
Yes.
Kinda, yeah.
Kind of, yes. It's a town on the lake. They're, I don't know, 10-minute drive from Blue Mountain Ski Resort. Big place to go skiing.
Your Blue Mountain Ski Resort.
Yes.
Yes,
Which is probably bigger than ours.
Yeah, how big is it?
We're live streaming. Hey,
Hey,
this is Julian. Julian and Sam can come on. They're
what up,
the
everybody?
fearless and tireless people filming this special RCR project. And right now they're unloading the van.
Was it Yes Sir?
Let me see if I can get one
Yes
of those
Sir rocks
boxes so I can sit here.
Okay.
Can you guys bring up the bigger boxes?
Apple boxes.
Anyway, Rec, good to see you again. Hey, just dropped quite a bill to fix my old Benz because car love. That's what car love is, especially German cars.
Yeah.
A lot of love in the form of cash.
Yeah, I emptied my bank account twice
Ugh.
in, the span of a little over a year.
Gil, with a generous donation here, thank you, says, come to Brazil so you can laugh at our 1-liter engines. I was able to do that in New Zealand, but I've been noticing, like in a lot of countries, I don't think Canada really got down with the 1-liter tiny engine thing because your country is huge and there's not a lot in between.
Yeah.
It's
It's a lot of highways.
Yeah.
It's a lot of highways, so smaller engines don't really
Yeah.
like it too well.
No.
overdrive is your best friend.
Yeah.
Maybe people in Vancouver like tiny cars, but then they never leave Vancouver.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you go
probably.
up to Whistler and that's about it.
Thank you for your deep pockets, Gil. Captain Overkill says, Motor Week Tribute-S car reviews ever coming? Not really, because we would need a fully controlled environment to do that slalom thing that Motor Week does.
Yeah.
I'd like to be able to do something like it. Of course, it wouldn't be the type of testing where we'll have numbers attached to it. It's like, hey, watch this. This is what this car does when we yank the wheel. Wow, look at it lean. That was neat. I'm going to go touch myself.
Didn't you have the strip in the UK?
Yeah, we did have that, and the owner was kind of said no skids, which was their version of no burnouts. I'm like, come on, really?
You have a car that can do burnouts, and you're not going to let us do a burnout?
Yeah. Which is why that's an RCR goal, is getting on Kutztown's abandoned airfield or something like that.
Real quick, there's someone who, and I think Oliver might be, and Andre might be equipped to answer this better than us, but Alistair Butler asks, is ABE as influential in terms of Canadian lingo as I think it is, or is it a case of the Bader-Meinhof syndrome on my part?
I know who that is. I don't watch him enough.
All right.
I don't either.
He's out in BC,
Yeah.
so I think. I mean, he references a lot.
Shot on a lot for saying that I don't know who that is.
He's a mining engineer who has a YouTube channel where he takes apart power tools.
I did not know about that.
The lingo, someone's going to get me wrong in this, but what I believe it is the rate at the way he speaks and the way he swings between words is what it's like in rural Canada.
Okay.
But and some of the lingo is there, but a lot of it is BC. I believe like a sled is a snowmobile, right?
Oh, okay.
So stuff like that. But a lot of time it is regional. Ontario has the same thing.
He does a lot of the wherefores and the how-tos.
Yes, that's BC.
Um,
if you want a good example of that, look at Letterkenny's Cold Opens.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
Letterkenny is a show that it's filmed like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Popular now.
Yeah, it's like
it up.
less than 2 hours away from here where they shoot in rural Ontario, but it's the way they talk. It's like what it is in reality, and it doesn't seem like it because it's so fast.
Ivan's dad was adorable.
Oh, he's the best. Dude, he showed me
if I was waiting for the rural Canadian just to hang out and just hear him talk about stuff.
That is a man for all seasons. It's hilarious because
swears a lot, but it's sweet.
Yeah, like he was talking about how he didn't understand why people like Starbucks, and I was 100% there with him because
oh my God, yes.
The Starbucks back at home, there is a drive-through, and it will literally be 10 cars deep, where it's almost out into it's blocking the pathway into the little shopping center that it goes into. And so he's talking about emissions and all that stuff, and it's how it's hurting the environment, but also he's cursing up a storm about it's hilarious. And he showed me how stroopwafels are supposed to be consumed.
Oh my God!
And he was so weird. He was freaked out by
mind.
how
you were losing your mind with that.
So I'm like, oh my God, because you get a cup of coffee, you put it on top, and you wait for its structural integrity to be compromised, and then it folds into the cup of coffee.
Check Instagram story for more context.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
in my Instagram story, I just post about how amazing it is that this thing is happening, and how much it changes the flavor of the coffee. It's like a caramelly Belgian waffle experience. Because every other time that I've had them, they've been laid out on a little dish, but he had the little box that shows you how it is you're supposed to actually have them. Put them on top.
We got to go to Wegmans when we get home and get some. We have.
I'm gonna get some.
Do they have Wegmans up here?
No.
Oh, okay. We've been just working for the past 3 days, and I haven't done any Canadian anything, and that has to change tomorrow.
Poutine, you gotta go do poutine.
I am going to gain so much weight on this week.
We gain weight on every trip. The only trip
I've been drinking. I've been doing a lot of day drinking on this trip.
There was the one trip where I actually lost weight on the trip, and you were saying how, oh man, I wish I was being as responsible about my calorie intake as you're being. I'm it's not because I'm being responsible. It's just because for whatever reason, I don't like eating, which is funny for a full figure.
You like
male.
having eaten.
Yeah, exactly. In a very post hoc way, I just want the experience of eating to be over so that I could get back to doing whatever it was I was doing before. So I'm eating a salad, a Caesar salad, whatever. Just give me a bland plate of nutrients and just and then I can have it over with. Right now, this morning, I just had a Lara bar.
Lara bars are great, and people who hate on Lara bars, what do you eat? Snickers?
Yeah, just get out.
Does everything have to have chocolate in it for you?
If you can't do pork fried rice, what are we gonna talk about?
Cody wants me to say I am cornholio and I need TP for my bunghole. It's funny you say that because my gift to Ivan was peppermint scented butt wipes which you haven't gotten into yet because I've learned here in Canada they're pretty strict about what you can flush down the toilet,
Yes.
which is weird.
There's that box behind you. I want to show your.
Okay, they're down there. I don't know if we can, because I had 2 poops today, and the second one I wiped until I bled because everything's like difficult and my poop has been dry lately and it's been hard to get out. And also I've had hurried brown movements, which I don't like. I like to take my
There you
time.
go.
Did you actually have like curry today?
Hurried brown movements.
Oh,
as in,
but in terms of consistency, but you didn't actually eat curry.
no,
Because we're on like a strict Indian food.
I didn't say curry. I said hurried.
Oh, hurried. Oh, right.
Brown
Sorry.
movements.
My hearing is all off. No, it's
kind of echoey in here.
usually on road trips. It's like we try hard to avoid Indian food because when we were doing the Southern Stab and we stopped in Virginia, it was very much. We had Indian food 2 nights in a row, and it was like a battle over the bathroom both nights.
Yeah.
And it's just, and the first night we had it for dinner. The second night we had it for lunch in a different place
Nice.
where they put chutney and everything, and it was like.
I was dying. I went through 2 pitchers, and the staff was laughing at me. 2 pitchers of water.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because that's what we learned about. Like Indian food is not regulated.
Yeah.
Like hot. You don't know because I like spicy food. But I like sriracha sauce. I don't know if it's hot or if it's white people hot.
Yeah.
So, and I like white people hot. But then there's this like and then unless you get the real deal, and then people then you're a fool.
I feel like I surpass white people hot. Like Doritos cheese is spicy by my standards.
What is
Doritos cheese?
Just the nacho cheese, the regular ass cheese.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Literally cannot take it.
I don't know, but like that chutney was like hell's half acre in my mouth. Like I was just trying really hard not to just like go. I'm like, where's milk? I must find my kingdom for a quart of milk. It's just,
Straight Tail says, ever driven a car with a push button starter? Yeah, a whole bunch.
Or
Like-
last night.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
like most cars have them now just for effect, I guess.
Yeah.
I think Ivan's car had the push button
Start, yeah, he
and
has
it
that.
had the little knob shifter. Did it?
His shifter looks like a turn signal. It's up on the dash.
Oh, all right.
It's fully electronic.
Oh, it's one of those shifters.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And down in the middle is like this jog wheel, like this Minority
Oh, the center
Report
console?
thing
Yeah.
that you use to navigate the screen and also to
Yeah.
input the nav
sat
controls.
nav
Yeah.
and
MWI drive.
trying to figure out how to get back home because of the GPS signal was lost.
Our
on
Yankee
phones.
phones aren't playing well with the Royal Parliament or whatever you got here.
I just want to see how
Probably
long
we
we
could
can
all
hold that.
Rogers.
For those people in New Zealand, we are in the New Zealand of the North. Like the relationship between Canada and the U.S. is New Zealand and Australia. It's like this is the nice place.
I think the only difference is like the scale is reversed because we're thicker than the U.S. but with less people.
You're what in the U.S.?
The country's technically larger, but
Thicker?
yes.
Thick.
Oh.
THICC.
See, every now and again, you get the pang of the different accents.
Yeah.
And like, I'm getting a little bit better that I can differentiate Kiwi from Aussie, but it's not easy. And good luck for people in different parts of the country to differentiate Yankee from.
Do we have an accent?
Like right now, you don't. Every now and again, there it is.
Oh.
But
See, that's just like his lingo. That's not really much of an accent. I don't think.
Hi, Chief.
It's like the wrestler Kevin Owens. Like he speaks English, but he's from Canada and he has a slight like missable accent. So that
Yeah.
he'll say things with like a T when they're spelled with a TCH or TH.
Yeah.
TCH. What am I saying? I mean, it's like me and I have a friend named Carrie who is from the South, and she would ask me like, "Hey, do I have an accent?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Do I?" She's like, "Yeah."
no.
And I'm thinking, like, what can my accent possibly be? Because, you know, it's not like New Jersey. It's not New York. And I'm wondering just what, like, a southeastern PA accent sounds like. And I think it's probably, like, Philadelphia. But then I think I don't really have a
Philadelphia has
accent.
a lot of Jersey stank in it.
Yeah, it's like, Hoboken, New Jersey. Like,
Yeah.
It's not even like that. That's too much. But, I mean, you know, Jean, is our catch-all phrase, catch-all noun
That
for
John.
everything.
Yeah.
Like that John.
I don't hardly ever say that. Some of my students did, but it caught on when I was around them.
What is it?
That's a button.
What is it? I don't believe I've ever seen it before.
X Awesome says, hi, how has Toronto traffic been while filming? Your city doesn't stop.
Can't park
Welcome to
anywhere.
Toronto. You can't park here.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
New York with the north.
Yeah.
Close enough.
It's like New York with some Los Angeles. It's like New York with Los Angeles around it. That's Toronto.
And it's
Toronto.
colder.
The weather's been super nice.
Yeah, the weather's been
I'm
good
making
for
it
you,
once
to you
in a
guys, but if you came in the winter, you guys would have had it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least parking lot snowdrifting's a lot of fun. I sent you a link to that.
In your car? Ah, man. I wonder how durable these red cameras are in like the weather.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Barry? Scrolling down, thank you for people sticking with us. We
Yeah.
are going to get to all your super chat
I
questions.
just read one comment. Cucked.
Sarah wants to know if you would swipe or trade the Falcon for a Scirocco with fewer than 75,000 miles.
Hell no.
Yeah, I told you the
Hell
answer.
no. I don't want a VW. Like,
It's a 2J swap.
sorry.
Scirocco.
Like, there are very few VWs that grab my fancy. Every now and again, I get the bug fixed.
Yeah.
Justin Kramer bought one to see if he could flip it or not. It's pumpkin orange.
Oh,
I
wow.
like that color.
It's a very nice color.
It's got the roof rack. He's going through a bunch of things that he says this may. He's learning about how, like you said, there is and is not standardization of these engines.
Yeah.
They're like, right now we're making this change. This change begins now.
Yep.
Is this the middle of the year? Yes, but who cares?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. I forget what year he has.
If I remember, it's a super bug.
His
If I remember right, like 71, 72.
okay,
I believe.
Yeah.
But I don't have to-
1600 or 1200.
No, I believe it's 1600.
Okay.
Off the top of my head, though.
He likes to use a lot of Chinese parts to see how well they work.
Oh my god.
So he has a Chinese turbocharged a copy of a real one
Yeah. On the bug?
on the bug right now. The
Oh,
Chinese or turbocharger, excuse me. Well, he uses those too. I'm sorry, Chinese carburetor.
Oh, okay, then.
I think he bought it for. It was either $20 or $120.
Yeah.
I never remember much. But so far it's working. Although he did have to get his whizzer out and clearance. Something for the throttle linkage to pass under something. Anyway, Dodge Crazy 1970 says, looking forward to possibly meeting you guys. It'll be a huge turnout. It probably is. I apologize again. I will not be able to meet everybody. We will do our best to say hi. I hope Toronto treats you well. We haven't done any touristy stuff except for treating. I was able to walk around a little bit today. I have some opinions about how you're both allowed and not allowed to park on your own property. I was going to bring my Miata, but it's getting ceramic coated, so I'll bring my Toyota Venza. LOL. I don't know what a Venza is, but I'll probably figure out when I see it.
Like a crossover, almost the size of an SUV Toyota thing.
Okay.
I don't want one. It has a V6. Sounds like a Sienna.
Okay. It's probably an car.
It is an car.
Yeah.
With +1 reliability.
Someone in the chat asked, "What's the most?" Inacune asked, "What is the most regular car to exist?" And I think it's the one we gave the award to at the meet.
That is pretty regular. The only irregular thing about it was its transmission. Our best in show or best regular car at the Pennsylvania RCR car meet was a 1990 Dodge Caravan with a stick shift.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I love Caravans, and I've never driven the one with the stick shift. I don't know what transmission they use. It's probably off of an Aries because the stick shift was only available with the 4-cylinder. They didn't do it with the V6.
Is it 4 or 5 speed?
5.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I was going to say Plymouth Voyager.
Straight Tail says, "Who's being beaten in the background?" That is the axe throwing place next door. Because Toronto.
You walk into the insurance office and you just say, "Hey, I would like to open a bar." Oh, great. Sure, we love insuring bars. Yeah, but it's a bar in which you can throw axes.
Yeah,
It's like, oh.
There's literally like a room full of people just yeeting axes out walls.
Double handle.
Yeah. I saw a guy do this with it at a wall.
Is that like the sideways gun
Yeah, I
hold
think
that's
so.
throwing? I think they're gonna like aim for the dash.
Nick Dasco says, "What sort of beers do you gents enjoy?" I'm a sucker for IPAs because I'm a little bit basic that way. But right now I'm drinking Muskoka Brewery, Detour, and it says a refreshingly adventurous beer for those who want to stray from the everyday. Dry hop brewed, this India Session Ale delivers a rewarding aroma and taste. Delivers a rewarding aroma and taste less travel. Check your date code as our beer is best fresh. Blah, 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 blah. Where is this brewed? Dad moment. Take off my glasses so I can see better. Muskoka Brewery. Bracebridge, Ontario, Canada.
And I am drinking, I don't know, because this is literally like this weekend's the first time that I've had anything to drink in like 2 months. And not because I'm trying to stop or anything, it's just I don't feel like it. I'm like 34, I don't care about drinking anymore. Because I know that like how it's going to feel the next day. And it's just, so when people were at the meet saying like, "Oh, Roman, you lost weight, what are you doing?" I'm like, I'm just not having beer regularly anymore. And I guess I'm eating more green stuff. But all that really matters is that I'm trying, to do better. But it's not a conscious choice not to drink beer. It's just I don't feel like doing it.
All the beers in that fridge over there are Tall Boys.
They are Tall Boys. And I have no idea what the name of this is. It says Ransack the Universe. It's an IPA. But I don't know if it's called Ransack the Universe or this other thing, which is like Galaxy, Mosaic, whatever. But yeah, it's an IPA and it's Collective Arts.
I've never seen that.
Brewing. Yeah, no, neither have I. It has a cool illustration of a weird monster on it. Or basically me before coffee.
Yeah. The Brain Specialist says, "Can't wait to meet you guys tomorrow. Hope you guys had a good time up here." Pretty good. We've got an almost open day tomorrow before the RCR meet. And then Tuesday, you guys are going back to work. We're not. We got a day to ourselves to just do something. The only thing, like, I haven't really thought of anything I want to do. I kind of want to go to find some place I can hang out. You guys are going to make a face around this, but I kind of want to go near the airport here and watch planes land. Because I just, yeah. Are you allowed to stop there?
Yes. Plane spotters go there. FedEx cargo entrance.
Yeah.
There's just people that park cars with telephoto lenses with that, making like, I'm working on that one.
I kind of want to do that.
Because we get the A380 here, flying direct from Dubai.
Ooh.
Yeah, we get that every so often. I don't know exactly what days.
If I remember, I haven't checked this in like 3 years, but it's like, no, the last time I checked 3 years ago, it was Tuesday, Thursdays.
Yeah. So if it is Tuesday, you'll get lucky and you might see it.
Is it true that, this is dating myself. Did you guys see the first Wayne's World? Oh man,
we were born in a time where there always was internet, which is dating us.
See, there's a scene in Wayne's World where Wayne and Garth watch the planes land, like right over their heads, and it's like a thrill thing.
Yeah.
But since Mike Myers is Canadian, but I don't know if Dana Carvey is. And a lot of like this fake, like Wayne's World, even though the movie is set in Chicago, it's really about growing up in Toronto. So the part about watching planes land over your head, I think, was a reference to what you're talking about.
So, like, I mean, if you time it right, when you go down the 401, you can see.
I saw that. That's what I think. As we were driving into town, it was like, I see this plane go over my head. I'm like, dude.
Plane Spotters by Summer specifically for that reason.
I think part of 9. There's a little starfish.
Said download
yeah.
Flight Radar 24.
Yeah,
Someone said.
I can vouch for that one. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Nope. Thank you for your donation. Says, have you guys met Yuri and Jacob yet? We met Yuri twice. He came out to the first day of filming, and then the second. Like literally, we were returning our old alternator to get our core charge back to parts source, and literally, I look out the door, and there's Yuri right up against the glass with the straight
In one of
pipes.
those motorized skateboards.
Yeah,
He's on a boosted board rolling around all California style.
Super Casey Neistat.
It's such a Bob's Burgers moment.
Yeah.
Of like running into that guy in the pink Speedo who rollerblades everywhere.
Yeah.
But except like Yuri, and we were kind of thinking like, all right, who's going to beat us to the studio? It's going to be us or him. You know, we made it more or less the same time, but it was just such a random encounter of just like, oh, we were in a completely unrelated place doing a completely unrelated thing, and Yuri just happened to be there.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. And then when everyone was checking out his Prowler on Friday, like you had the old ladies like stopping by, just sort of checking it out, like it was.
Oh, this must be a fast-looking car. It looks different. Yeah.
It was just humorous to me to see the guys and the women who would like walk by and kind of make a puzzled reaction as though they were looking at a spaceship, because it's like, how often do you have the chance to come across something like this in your regular life? You know,
I think like when I grew up, like, because child of the 90s, I was there when that debuted. My uncle owned a dealership. I saw it. I looked at it. I thought it was kind of weird, and it wasn't practical, and it's not fast. And
Is that a concept car?
It was never made to sell. It was made to like as a demonstration for the chassis, and it was bought by people who think there's gonna be worth something someday. This is a real collector item, and it is. But everybody I've ran into is super weird about like the. I rank. God, I think I don't understand why people like Prowlers. Maybe because I saw them as just these lumps of plastic and messes of Mopar nonsense. The car sucks, but apparently Yuri loves this thing. Now, granted, I'm a whore for like 90s Toyota. I love the Tercel. I think that's fantastic. So I'm as charcoal as every other pot pointing at each other.
Yeah, it's strange, I guess. I mean, granted, not as strange as BMW guy who sat in the parking lot.
Oh yes,
and watched us for 4.5 hours. There was this guy who was in a BMW in the lot watching us filming, and he was just sitting there on his phone. But for the most part, his phone was down, and he was just looking at it. I took my glasses off to make this more creepy and unsettling for you because you're used to seeing me with glasses. Yeah. And so he was just kind of like 4 hours. Like, and I'm convinced that like he was there waiting for someone. What was the working theory that he was waiting for?
He was either I guess he was either on a marijuana dealer or some like Kijiji.
But you guys have
something.
dispensaries here.
I know, which makes no sense.
We literally drove by. We literally drove past a place called Butters with a D. So, yeah, but it was so strange because I was convinced, like, eventually this guy is going to get out of his car. He's going to murder us all, like, with his bare hands because he had that look in his eye of a bare-handed murderer. And so, yeah, eventually he left. No one noticed that he left, but he was gone, and we all lived, and we're still here today. Wait, what's happened?
What's your vote next in your package?
We're deciding.
Tie.
Okay, well that's already going to do it.
Tie for
Yeah. Place, then I'm going to pass my phone to you and put your order in.
Okay.
Let's find out what Colin does tomorrow.
Words to live by.
I will have the most musical asshole.
Yeah.
That's the new kiosk.
Last night, I had to do most of my farting in the living room of the Airbnb so I wouldn't spoil my bed sheets.
This is a true story, too.
And I also found out that if I had to fart, pull the sheet up to my neck and pull the blanket up to my nose.
My friend James, who was at my new friend James, who I met at the RCR meet and who's going to be at the meet tomorrow, simultaneous to you telling me this after I got out of the shower, I read a status update from him that was literally just, I'm suffocating under my own farts. I'm just like, I just wanted to like write, and I didn't, but like under it, just like Brian is saying the exact same thing more or less right now.
A quick tips: time your farts when you lift up the covers and do this, so it pushes it all.
Oh, that's genius.
Quick tips.
David ELD. What's these donations are in? As AVE says, Canucky stand dollars. I've got Canadian pesos. Yeah. I've got a 2002 Lexus LS430, almost 420,000 kilometers.
Jesus.
Can you give me an RCR-esque line on regarding it? 2002 Lexus LS430, the official car of the guy who sells weed out of his grandma's house. Most of it is stems and seeds. Was I pretty accurate there?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Thank you so much for your donation. Hopefully that works. Nathaniel Blanky says, what are your thoughts on the 2020 Corvette? Yes, all the dads are going, it's not in the engines in the Italian.
My dad makes it.
Yeah, but guess what? Boomers are going to buy it because it's the newest Corvette. I think it's going to be great. It looks like a Corvette. We're trying to wrangle a test ride at Corvettes at Carlisle this month. I don't know if it's going to go through. It's going to be there. I'll probably show up to look at it. I'll try to throw the RCR name around. I'll bet it's like what I'm more interested. Great, you put the new LT, which is really an LS with direct injection. You put it in the middle. Great, it's been done. We've been wanting this since the 70s. Great. But I'm more interested in fiddling with all those buttons that go down that center stack. Yeah. Are those going to break from like big canned ham fingers mashing at them for
I was watching Donut's video of it.
Yeah.
The one thing that caught my eye when, apart from the center thing, was I saw the red line on it and it said like 5,000. What?
Yeah, that's really low.
That's a van.
Yeah.
I read like 5.1.
Yeah. That's little. We'll see. I'll report back when we see it.
I read an article that said 6,400 for a higher trim. Like, what?
Food order?
Oh, food orders.
Okay.
No, my thing about the 2020 Corvette is that my immediate thought was that it's for a guy who makes his one night stand a mean stack of Plan B chip pancakes. And it's just one of those things where like it looks so angry and aggressive and get out of my house. I already got what I wanted in a terrible way because people are like, I don't know. It's just, it seems to like veer into the worst stereotypes of like a Corvette bro because it just looks so unnecessarily like angular and aggressive. But that's like part of all car design now. Either you're like smooth, rounded edges, sanded off, whatever, or you're like looking out of something like Bayformers where you're just, I'm jagged steel and metal and I'm shrapnel that's like glued together into a thing.
Purple Heart, the car.
That's just
the one of Borrow line. I think it was from Tony Airlines. He said, C8 Corvette is just a spicy Fiero."
Nice.
There you go.
Tyler Shepard says, "Will you ever come to South Dakota or the nearby area? I would like to get my truck reviewed by you." The Upper Midwest. Yes, I do want to come to North Dakota, South Dakota, and do that sort of stuff. I've never been to Wisconsin. And that's a place I do want to be, and all that sort of places. So, all states at some point.
Pass it down here.
Pass it down.
Yep.
All right, let's see
Take one. Here comes the worksheets. Take one sheet and pass it down.
pretty much.
Nick Dasco, thank you so much for your donation. Have you guys seen any Mercedes B classes or C class wagons, and Sunas, Chevy Orlandos, or other Canadian exclusive models on a trip? We saw these like weird Suzuki station wagons. You pointed one out, and one Toyota.
Yes. As soon as I haven't seen in a long time Chevy Orlandos. Yes.
Yeah, Orlandos are
They're
they're around. They're not as common as
the Ford Flex.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
imagine
that,
GM
but
made that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But smaller and yeah, it's interesting.
Huh.
Do you not get that?
No. I mean, those are there's a lot of stuff that we don't get.
Yeah.
Huh. Like
No.
you got a lot of consolidated brands. Like, were your neons all Chrysler neons?
I think we got Dodge.
We got
Okay.
oh well
I think
the
ours
neons
were
as in
Dodge.
like the vehicle itself, the platform, and then
Yeah.
different. We got the Plymouth Breeze.
Okay. Oh, so you did get those.
But our neons were Dodge. I remember that.
Huh. You got the Echo and we got the Echo, but
Yes.
your Echo turned into the Yaris before ours did.
Oh, really?
Ours didn't become the Yaris until the second generation.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Second generation. Is
Like
that when
when
they had the facelift?
After the facelift, when they became the hatches.
Oh,
No, wait, you got the
We
hatches
got the
before
hatch.
hatches. You got the hatch.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when we got it, it was only the coupe and the sedan. We didn't get the hatch
Oh, okay.
until deep into the 2000s,
Okay.
like maybe 2006 or something like that.
Big
So
fan.
no, I haven't really they've been there, but I haven't really seen them, or they haven't popped out to me yet. So, but thank you, Nick. Thank you for your donation. Tech explain. Oh,
I
sorry.
remember the wagon that we saw, Suzuki Estima wagon.
Yeah, we don't get that. And if we do,
We
I
don't
have,
see them often, but
No,
there's
they're-
some around
They're
kicking.
a rarity.
Yeah, no, Sol just eats.
Yeah.
Hey, RCR, 2005 Ford F500, 261,000, original CVT, quite a surprise. Yeah, I don't know too much about Ford's continuously variable transmissions having long lives or not. I know Nissans or Nissans aren't that great, but I suppose that is kind of a surprise. Thoughts on Ford CVTs? Anybody into them?
Never
No.
driven one,
If
no.
I'm honest, I didn't know they made them.
Yeah, because with the Focuses, they were doing that automated manual thing that just
Is that what that was?
to make mileage. That's why the Ford Focus automatic transmissions just went to crap. You're not supposed to buy them at all. Double Dubiel, thank you for your donation. GM was such a big part of Southern Ontario industry. The markets left is huge.
Yeah, and that was part of my shortcoming on the RCR story about Pontiac, because when I got to the RCR meet that we had last Sunday, I learned from some of the Canadian citizens who attended that there was a very huge Pontiac and GM in general presence in Canada that I kind of overlooked. Now, granted, every RCR story is going to be imperfect because I always end up overlooking something. And so,
You guys taking off?
I'm taking off. You guys are all going to be at the barbecue tomorrow?
yes.
Yes. So,
Are,
are you guys coming too?
What barbecue?
We haven't talked about that yet.
There you go.
I'm hosting a barbecue at my place in the afternoon, pre-meet, like meeting.
Yeah,
yeah,
pre-car meet.
pre-con.
meet.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
they booked off.
But yeah, anyways, we'll talk after.
Yeah, I'll talk.
Okay.
We'll talk about that.
Take it easy.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right.
See you guys tomorrow.
Take care.
Thanks again for all your help. So yeah,
Yeah, that was great.
I suppose it has been. I need to learn where they started making stuff. I mean, I know about the Windsor blocks from Ford. That's what they were made up here. And when I owned a Dodge Neon, most of the parts for that said made in Canada. Oh, you keys.
Yeah. Julian was kind enough to lend me his key to the studio.
Nick Berlanger. Nick
Belanger?
Belanger.
Belanger?
Bell
I don't know.
hyphen anger.
Hey there, longtime subscriber. You guys should review an e-bike. like assisted or fully independent. They're more trendy. I saw a few of them here, like even people jamming through that park on electric
Farron
bicycles.
did a review of one of those scooters.
I didn't do food yet. No.
That we did in Nashville. That he kind of took one of those around.
How do I do this?
Yeah, I've also never ordered Uber Eats.
So they're the more trendy, modern equivalent of an old moped in both spirit and legality.
He's the last one to order,
Yep.
and then.
So basically, I don't know. We can't do anything that we aren't offered. So if you do have, no.
But do you have the e-bike laws in the US where it's like you don't have to register it?
Yeah, because here, like, you can buy.
Yeah.
You used to be able to buy e-bikes at like Walmart.
They were good, but
They weren't good, but you could buy them.
yeah, you can buy like $500 e-bikes. They have a limit on how many watts you can do, and it's limited to 32 kilometers an hour.
That's it.
But if you're handy, you can remove the governor. And you don't have to register it. You don't pay insurance on it. I think you pay HST for buying it, but otherwise it's just an bicycle because technically speaking, it still has pedals.
Removing the
but they're
governor
like-
like a special election.
Like the pedals are this long, like in terms of the connecting part, and like they're there for emergency, and they're very low geared. So like you're running on the electric one all the time.
Are they twist throttle?
Twisted up.
Yeah.
Nice. More trendy, modern equivalent. Most of the stuff around PA is all fire trails and stuff, and so you ride a bicycle in my town for 5 minutes, and you're on a state highway, and there's nowhere to ride. So most people, when they have bicycles, they're like Specialized or Cannondale, one of those brands, and then they load them on their car and they drive to the trails, ride around, and back in the car, drive home.
Yeah, rather than riding around. It's like you said when we were coming back from the parts store, how avoid the cyclists because they will win the lawsuit, no matter whether it was their fault or yours.
Yeah, pretty much. Avoid them at all costs. Your bank account will thank you.
Yeah.
Nick H doesn't have a question. He just says anime titties. Nope. Thank you for your donation. Nope. Acura EL review now.
It's the Civic looking thing. Honda Civic early 2000s rebadged as Acura.
Oh, but it's not an Integra TL. I think, okay, the large ones, right. I think I know what that is. I think Justin Bernash, that's his car for driving around.
It's like Civic plus Parsley.
I don't get why you would want that because there's nothing that you get on that car that you don't get on a fully spec Civic. I mean, it says
You get a
Acura.
slightly different face.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, that's what it looks like.
Yep. No, I wouldn't have that.
No.
If I get that, I would trash it for the entire review, which maybe is what we people want. No Ben 101 says, was it legal to drive the Nano on public roads? Yes, because that was a road test and show and display laws apply.
Yes.
And also because the Lane Motor Museum also has a dealer license.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Literally anything in there is drivable. They just got to grab a plate and you can take it out. That's the most amazing thing about that place is when you go to Lane Auto Museum or Motor Museum, excuse me, it is a very
So working museum.
Yes, and it's a rotating collection of cars, which is glorious about it because my friend Dieter has been there before, if I remember correctly. And when he went, there was a different collection of cars than when we went. And so there's things that I saw that he didn't see and things that he saw that we didn't see. Mm-hmm. So that's what's interesting about it and why everyone should go and at different times of year and preferably more than once. So yes, cheap plug to good people.
Matthew, thank you for your donation, Matthew. Huge fan, been watching since the Outback review. Have you ever considered coming to Michigan? I have a new Corolla hatch for you. Michigan, yes. Detroit is supposed to be the Holy Land. Well, we're not doing the Dream Cruise this year because we're going to be getting back from here and I have other obligations. But yeah, I heard Michigan's airport is pretty good from Tony Airlines. So I do plan on going there at some point. It's in Michigan, Detroit is just on the far side of son of a bitch driving. That's it's far enough, but in order to get there, you're either driving 2 hours to Philly, parking, paying, flying, and then you're there, or driving 1.5 hours to Harrisburg, parking, flying, maybe flying to Chicago and then doubling back to Detroit. So you can see why it's like you're staring down the barrel of I'm sorry for the alliteration, but staring down the barrel of the bogus side of bullshit. So like Toronto is the upper limit of doable because it's about an 8-hour drive, but most of the drive from Pennsylvania to Toronto is on nice roads.
Yeah.
And you're avoiding a lot of cities when you go from PA. Sure. Like Buffalo's it. That's it.
That's really it.
And then whatever Toronto traffic you happen to hit.
Yeah.
But
really
it's like all at the end. And the border crossing, as we've discussed before, Buffalo's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Unless you gotta see the falls, I guess. And then let's cross while we're there. 3 hours later.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I because of what happened last time I went through that border crossing, I make an effort to not go through there, and instead I go through Kingston exclusively.
What's the crossing, like something Million Lakes or something?
That's Kingston.
Okay.
They have,
Islands.
yeah, they have this
Thousand
like massive tower, which
I remember
undoubtedly has
that.
cameras. They
I
have
remember that.
undoubtedly cameras on there, and probably a man with a rifle. But and you cross a bunch of bridges.
Yeah.
And interesting, you can go up to that tower and go up there without even crossing the border.
Really?
Yep. But you do have to pay the toll gate to go across the bridge in U.S. dollar for some reason on our side. It doesn't make any sense.
Weird. Huge fan. Been watching. Oh yeah, Michigan and stuff.
I'm
Thank you
reading
for
some
that.
of the guesses for the cars.
Every now and again, it scrolls to the bottom.
Yeah.
Because it resets. Because you haven't watched the recent ones yet. Okay, C8 talk because we were talking about C8. Oh, that was a big one. Would you go to Bangladesh? I'm scrolling up and then scrolling back down. Ooh, we got a lots to do. It's a shame we don't have a sign here.
Yeah.
It'll probably be whenever they finish packing and they say, okay, we got to wrap it up. And then we have to
whenever
bust.
food shows up.
Yeah.
Like,
food is showing up here?
Yeah, it's delivered.
yeah, it's delivered.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it'll be good.
Oh, I think that's as far as I can scroll up. So we're picking up here with Michael Weiss. Weitz's? What do you think?
Oh,
Weiss.
Michael Weiss.
Michael Weiss. Okay. What do you think of the Austin Healey 3000? Is that a classic one or a rebadged one?
England.
I may have to get my charger soon.
I have the battery pack, and it's actually.
And by that I mean for the
for the computer. All right.
There's a bit of power outlet right here. What do you think of the Austin Healey 3000? That thing. Is that the one that Jeremy Clarkson bought and it's secretly an MGB midget underneath?
I know what you're talking about. I don't know.
I see them like in Wingadinga car shows and those things pass like old men in them. Those things are almost American now. Yeah. They've been around so long in the culture that, it's an Austin Healey. And then here come the Austin Powers quotes. And then they eat a hamburger with one hand and a vanilla ice cream cone in the other. And their bellies shake with the sound of repeated stories. So that's what I think of the Austin Healey 3000. They can eat hamburgers with the best.
Questions. What car meet location? Check Twitter.
Check Twitter. Yeah, check Twitter and you have it.
Instagram as well. I'm pretty sure you guys put it up on your Instagram.
Yep.
We also haven't met Drake.
What does that mean?
Because Drake is from Toronto.
Oh, no, we haven't met Drake.
He's from the docks.
He lurks around these streets.
He lurks around Millie Bobby.
Yikes. Yikes.
Oh, yeah.
ZR Metal Man, thank you for your donation. Fantago versus Mr. Regular, who would win in a fight? What's
Fantano?
Fantano.
Is that the guy who does bro science?
Yeah, he does like the album reviews.
Oh, I have no idea.
Did he review Floral Shop?
Yeah, like Macintosh 420.
He has a shaved head and glasses like mine.
Yep, he's melon.
Melon? Oh,
Yeah,
a melon.
Melon.
I don't know. I haven't seen his full body.
Best teeth in the game.
I weigh about 170 to 175 pounds, whatever that is in kg. I don't know.
We don't really care much about kg here.
Okay.
That's the one thing that
Okay, I
you know,
do,
It
but-
doesn't really translate over as much.
Okay.
kg and measure like kg and feet.
Yeah, I don't know anyone that measures in feet other than like contractors, but that's.
I think I'd be okay
teachers.
unless, like, he looks a little bit bigger than me, but I don't know how tall he is.
81
So,
kilos.
81 kilos. So I think if that guy got a hold of me, he could probably wrench me around. But I've never been in a fight, so what are we talking about here? I don't know how to fight. We got into a fight. My whole thing of fighting is I could probably outrun you. So there we go. Hey, you win. I'm gone. I wipe my nose a lot because I stick that shaver up my nose. That shaves your nose hairs. And I think I may need surgery eventually so I can breathe out of this thing. And my nose will get big. How that talks about fighting, I don't know. But thank you for your donation.
Somebody asked, is Mississauga part of the GTA? Yes.
Yes, it
It
is.
is, unfortunately, for my insurance rate.
Michael Weiss again says, what is your opinion?
I do the same.
Oh, and then I guess I skipped someone, and then I caught him again.
Yeah.
Big phone.
Nope, again. Thank you so much. Would you go to India or Bangladesh to drive a tuk-tuk or our 80 different Corolla variants and have dank butter chicken?
Butter chicken is pretty dank.
Butter chicken is pretty good. Now, we had the Kiwi version. So would we go to India or Bangladesh? We'd need some serious fixers because we don't know what we'd be getting into. I think the best move would be to stay out of the major cities because I've seen the videos and traffic in major Indian cities looks like an MCU movie final fight. There's shit going on everywhere, complete with lightning bolts and magic.
I mean, like, have you ever seen places like Vietnam?
Yeah.
I went there.
You went to Vietnam?
Yes, I'm half
Oh.
Vietnamese.
Oh.
Which is weird, I know. But I went there and I had to learn how to cross the street a new way.
Yeah.
Which is, your mentality there when you're in traffic is they can go around you.
Really?
Fuck the world.
Fuck the world.
Like, because on a bike, if you're going in a straight line, chances are your handlebars are in one piece. That's their idea.
If you're going in a
And if
straight,
you're going if the bike is going in a straight line, chances are the handlebars are pretty tight, so they can turn around you. So you just walk, and it's just people
Swerving
envelop
around.
you. Their traffic does not stop.
my
They're
God,
constant.
They
flow.
learn to drive around.
my God.
Same thing with cars, but that's a little bit more terrifying because they're taxis.
Nope. I'm gonna nope out of that.
Oh, but I did have another great time. Is that in Vietnam, I rented a moped from a man who for like $15 gave it to me for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Did not ask once if I knew how to drive.
Nice.
Didn't.
Just here you go.
I had to remind him, like, can I get a helmet? Oh yeah, sure, whatever. It just picks one off the ground.
I would not have you have bigger balls than me to be able to do that.
You know?
Like,
Oh, sorry. I didn't want to interrupt. I just wanted to say that at some point we should like mention what tomorrow's video is going to be because it's not going to be a review.
right,
Oh,
because
yeah.
we're here. We've been here in Toronto for 3 days or 2 days or 3 days, and we came off of a previous trip that I even forget where I was. No, wait, I was off for a while. Oh, and then I went out to Indiana. No, I didn't. Iowa. So there is a Monday video. It is the recap of the RCR meet in Pennsylvania, a little narrative and a group picture for everybody who was there, get to see themselves in a video. So that's what's coming out Monday. We may or may not be able to have a video ready for the Monday after, but we also have to do RCR Goes to Toronto, which will be done tomorrow or maybe on our free day. So anyway, there will be a video out tomorrow. So yeah.
Rock and roll.
Ronald the Thirds says, "Are you gentlemen interested in a 2011 Dodge Dakota TRX 4? I live in New Hampshire, but I could come to PA." And you're like, I did a POV on a Dodge Dakota, and we have to cover like how that car hitched itself big time to the Ram after the Ram, the big redesign of the 90s when they made it look like a semi-truck. So I am interested, but you know the drill. Regularcars@gmail.com, year, make, model, city, state. You know, as Oliver knows, sometimes it takes a while to get back to you, but sometimes we get back in a big, big way.
Yeah. Oh, what's it called? On a slightly separate note, my mom texted me and wanted to pitch an idea for me to write a review of you reviewing us.
What you've experienced was atypical of RCR.
Strange.
Very strange, because this was very new, because you were available for this long, tall weekend. Most, like a real RCR video is in and out in usually 2 hours. Yeah. This is 3 days of something very, very special and wonderful. Yeah. So your car was filmed in a way it's never done before and may never be done again, but hopefully right. Yeah. Knock on wood. We'll see what the powers that be and where the winds of change go with this.
Hope for the best.
Yeah. Anyway, Plexi says, "Enjoy a few garbage coffees on me." What do you mean by that? Oh, because people in the comments were, when I had that picture of the Tims, they said the quality, the people complaining about the quality.
Because the Tims is one of those things like you love it, you hate it.
Yeah, Tims is a very hit or miss with people. Either you love it or you hate it.
And I'm saying this, I don't
Ivan yells their garbage from across the room. Also because he has a cappuccino, like an espresso machine right behind me, which is amazing, by the way.
Tim's used to be really good, but like they raised their prices and lowered the quality.
Stalks.
It's unfortunate. The sink is farting.
It's like when you guys were talking about really getting excited about going to Denny's. Like, was it? Oh, maybe that was Yuri who said he wanted to go to Denny's and stuff, and I'm like, why?
I think we have like a Denny's in Niagara.
There's one in Mississauga. There's
I mean,
one downtown. Yeah, there's.
I've been to it once in like Jersey.
I've been to
See, that's even worse because Jersey is like the king of diners. Like Jersey loves their diners, and why like you would get. That's like Joey Diaz getting really worked up about people who go to New York City and get Domino's. Anyway, Plexi says, "Enjoy a few garbage coffees on me. Would you be interested in reviewing a 1980 TR7, because we did the TR6, TR7 with a period accurate swap sometime in the next few years?" Sure, I'm interested. We'll see what the fates allow. Regularcars@gmail.com, your make, model, city, state. In the title of the email and the body of the email, put your phone number and a picture of the car and anything else you want to write. Thank you so much, and thank you for your donation. I think pretty soon we're going to have to call a stop on these super chats just so we can have dinner and wrap this up. Robert S., thank you for your donation, says, "I believe the new Corvette C8 has the spirit of the original NSX." Well, let's hear him out. It's a cheaper comparable performance and more reliable than Italian exotics. Well, that is true.
Yeah.
Exotics, okay, the NSX wasn't fast, even by 90s standards, because it was going up against the 4th gen, like in terms of like budget exotics. Now, they drive very, very nice. The quality is very good. The shifter is up to what you expect from a Honda, but again, that's still a V6 with like 250 horsepower.
Yeah.
So it's more of the experience of driving it and cornering it than it is in pure outright power. And you're going to get a lot of power in a C8. So I see what you mean.
I mean, I guess based on looks, kind of.
I think the original NSX looks fantastic.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, because I mean, when I saw the design of new Corvette. Like I have never seen it. You showed it to me earlier, but I guess I can see why it could have somewhat of the same, a similar design to the NSX,
Right.
but I don't know.
But the NSX didn't have to, because it's still of the 90s design that didn't have to comply with pedestrian safety.
Yeah,
so it doesn't
exactly.
have the big blunt nose, it has a beautiful low
Yes.
angular wedge on the front. That's what it cannot be replicated today.
Yeah.
So yeah. Seth Octon doesn't have a question, but thank you for that. Okay then. You pulled a sneaky on me. Thank you very much. Nope says you should join an episode of Air Force Proud 95. I've heard that before. Do you know what that is?
He's a YouTuber that kind of jokingly role plays at Flight Simulator X.
Okay. Is he the one who did he played the role as the air traffic controller, or is that someone else? Okay, that's someone else. Air Force Proud 95. We'd have to bring Tony Airlines in on that one.
It's good. It's good for airplane jokes or air traffic control jokes.
I want to go to Oshkosh because I don't know what any of this is, and my video would be a guy who knows very little about planes.
Yeah, I did that in 2014.
Yeah, I was Oshkosh.
Well, what's it called? We stayed at somebody's, and also it's where we learned some people in the country just drive with their headlights off.
Huh?
Like in the country when we were driving home, we almost got hit by a Chevy Cruze with the headlights off.
At night?
Yeah, like 11 p.m. And is this a thing that happens in the U.S.?
I guess they're drunk.
But Oshkosh itself is basically they have an entire airfield to themselves. The Lancaster, I believe, showed up because Ontario has one of two working Lancasters.
Ivan was filming it.
Yeah,
he was filming it for something. He posted on Instagram that he was.
I was inside that thing once, and I tripped over something, smashed my face into the fuel tank.
Oh. Sorry about that.
But they also had...
I hurt you from the 40s.
Yeah.
Oh, delightful.
But Oshkosh was a lot of fun. You see, it's good people watching because you see people like looking at Learjets and Honda jets. The Honda jet.
I've never been up on a Honda jet. I've seen a Honda jet because Superior Honda.
But no, you get like very interesting characters there, and you just listen to how they talk and how they interact with each other. It's very interesting. At least I think it's interesting.
Characters like
just people.
Plain whores.
Kind of. Yes, but at the same time they have money. They're they're CEOs, but planes are their side hobby.
Nice.
But they can't be bothered to spend the time to get a license, so we'll just hire a jet, or we'll just buy a jet and hire someone.
Cool. Facko the Clown, Fucko the Clown. Says, hit up the Canadian Auto Museum in Oshawa, Ontario's Canadian Motor City. 45 minutes east of you, see the only steam-powered car in Canada.
I'm ashamed that I didn't know about that place. Sounds interesting.
I think after tomorrow, I may be carred out.
Yeah.
And I want to do something that's not car.
I would love to see Lakeshore. I mean, and part of it
just walk around the lake. We're like in front of it, haven't done anything.
And and the reason is because Tuesday the weather is supposed to be garbage.
Go around, see how it's flooding.
Garbage.
Yeah, tomorrow the weather's going to be good, and then Tuesday it's going to
be rain.
Could be
intermittent thunderstorms, possibly.
Hey, you guys should go to the Brom.
The Brom?
The Raw.
Rural Ontario Museum.
There's a horror movie, like a poster collection, like original posters.
They have like an exhibition area that always changes.
Like my other place I could recommend is Ripley's Aquarium if you want to get relaxed and look at jellyfish.
I haven't been to an aquarium in a long time.
Yeah, they have this tunnel that you can walk in. There's fish around.
That's a nice rainy day thing.
That is. I was thinking like that other museum, the ROM. It makes me think of that crime museum that I went to during the Southern Stab, that had like mock-ups of the autopsy table of Clyde, like of Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh.
Clyde Barrett. There we go. Couldn't think of the name, but it was just so strange because it's like, okay, we have a mannequin, a dead mannequin on the table. Why?
Oh,
It's just
they do have
case.
like a real mummy as far as I know, at the ROM.
I think they had to return that.
No, it's still there.
Huh.
I went
At
there.
least turned into finance.
I went there in October last year, and I'm pretty sure, and it was still there. So unless they moved it recently, then I don't know.
North Hankspin, thank you for your donation of $5. No question, but thank you again for the donation. Scrolling down here, we're going to be, please put a stop to the super chats. If you're just typing one in now, cool. But we're going to, hopefully once our food gets here, we're going to have a little dinner amongst ourselves. Mr. Regular, will you ever attend the Woodward Dream Cruise? Maybe at some date, if I can find a safe place to stay. The thing about Detroit's Woodward Dream Cruise is they bend you over a chair with Airbnb and hotel prices for that. Like Motel 6s are going to be $200 US. You know, you're like a Hampton Inn will be $290 a night.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Just to stand on the side of the road and watch some cars drive by.
yeah.
Look, I live in cars, and I'm spoiled because I get to. Sorry, I'm spoiled, and I get to be in front of nearly anything I want and drive nearly anything I want. So the idea of spending that much money to stand on the side of the street and watch like the more boring parts of my day go by in front of me is like, yeah, there needs to be something else. There's no skiing in Detroit, so, you know. But thank you for your donation.
Awesome. Thank you so
much. Scrolling down.
Sounds like about Volvo 240s.
Volvo 240s.
I like them.
Regular driver. Thank you for your donation. Hey guys, love your silly show. Here's $5 for Timbits. I must say, you know, maybe they're forbidden fruit, but they do taste a little bit softer and they are fresher than Munchkins from Dunkin' Donuts. I haven't had a regular Tim Hortons donut. I'd have to see how it stands up to Dunkin's Old Fashioned, because Dunkin' Old Fashioned, like, their donuts are just they're kind of cake, but their Old Fashions are smaller and they're different than anything else at Dunkin' Donuts. So
have you been to a Krispy Kreme? Actually, no, you haven't.
Yeah.
I've been to Krispy Kreme.
No, Krispy Kreme feels like a rarity.
I actually get sick if I eat a Krispy Kreme. Like,
there's a lot of sugar.
I like have to like.
I go once a year,
really
otherwise I
nauseous.
get coronary.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Like, and that's not like, they taste good. Don't get me wrong, but it's
There's
like
just so much
I
sugar.
have them like once every like 3 years or something. Like if somebody
too
is
much.
bringing
Yeah.
Krispy Kreme,
Yeah.
it's just
a lot.
glaze. Everything is glaze on everything.
Like if I remember, Krispy Kreme has one store in Mississauga, one in Vancouver, and that's it.
Oh, and real close, it's a regular driver. Literally, as Brian was reading your name, I was accepting your message request on Instagram that I didn't realize was there. So thank you for, I didn't know you were Canadian. So, but either way, that has nothing to do with anything. But thanks for always watching stuff on my personal channel and being really cool about my nephew and everything. Because it means a lot. Limited time run. Cheap plug. I'm shameless. But also, I'm going to be releasing a personal vlog about how to be a good writer, even though it's like, why would you listen to me at all? It's because it's about being an effective writer rather than a good one. So,
Stephen Retmansky, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Are you guys going to post a video about the Pennsylvania car meet? Yes, we are. And it's going to be our Monday video. Some very nice drone shots of our little kind of cute. I'm surprised we had like 300 people come to the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania.
People are so cool.
Yeah, a lot of people watch.
It's still strange credulity to me, just in terms of like, when I got there, I was 10 minutes late in getting there, and we already had overflow parking into the grass, which is insane to us because the largest one that we had was there, and it was like everyone was still on like either concrete or gravel. We didn't have anyone in the grass, which that was just wild to me personally. And I just keep wondering, like, what about the people who actually went there to exercise? You know?
Yeah.
It's like, what it's just
This is
not
happening.
I don't know. It was a Sunday, so it is what it is. But
Mark Zamet says, what was at the ROM last week? Mark Zamet was at the ROM last week. One Egyptian mummy and a couple of other skeletons.
Yeah. There's some really interesting stuff at that museum. I really recommend it.
I'm digging the idea of an aquarium.
The aquarium is also
It's
very pretty.
really easy to find. Look for the big,
It's it's right beside the
literally-
the wedge between Rogers Center, CN Tower, right there.
Yeah, look for the big stick.
Is it probably best to does Lyft operate in Toronto?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, it's probably the
Lyft
best
and-
way.
yes.
To get
Yeah,
down there.
Lyft, Uber, and
Yeah, no, the what's it called? The meta for Toronto is if you live in the suburbs, you drive to GO train station, take the train in, and then take the subway anywhere else.
yeah.
Okay. I don't know how to public transit because I'm a rural American.
That's fair.
Ew.
Just go through. Just honestly, just get a Lyft or an Uber, and you'll be just fine.
Or you could legs.
Okay.
Just legs.
Mm.
Yeah.
Legs,
There
are things.
I
that
think
happen.
we've reached the end here.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
want, I think I told you this earlier. You want to hear a meme?
Okay.
4.6 modular swapped into an MR2.
Why?
Yeah, everyone else.
I get it. Okay. The modular, I shit on it because I had a whole bit about it. But the modular is okay. It is an update on the Windsor block. But it's smaller.
Yeah.
But I watched a lot of Car Wizard. That's a pretty good YouTube channel because he's the mechanic for Hoovy,
He is.
and he has a really good series called Buy This Not That, which is great for people when you get people coming up to you. I'm not a car guy. What should I buy? Hear this video, and of course, his video is buy the Toyota. Is the answer.
He's not wrong.
Right. And then they buy a Chevy Equinox and are complaining about stuff. Why didn't you buy it? Because you didn't buy the Toyota. But anyway, he said, in terms of Ford engines, the modular isn't terrible. But get the 2-valve, not the 3-valve, because the 3-valve is this problem, this problem, this problem. But if you're buying a Mustang for a long time into the S197s, they had the 3 valves, which is fine. Just change the oil and change this. But then people push it and then they break.
Yeah.
He has a really good video of do not buy the F-150 with the Triton in it. It's just, he says, because the oil passages are so small. If you skip an oil change, you're compounding problems. And then, so just kind of get a Silverado, get something with an LS in it.
Compounds faster than credit card debt.
Yeah.
Damn, that's
It is a
You
line.
can have it.
Lil Juz doesn't have a question, but thank you for your donation. Jeffrey Sanders says, as car guys, what do you all own? Well, you know what I have. You know what Nick has, but I'll say it again. I drive a Subaru Forester, which I changed the alternator today in 20 minutes because Subaru, and it now has a Canadian pacemaker in it, which is awesome. Nick?
2004 Mustang SN95. It's the 40th anniversary edition.
Yeah.
Still runs.
It's got the badge and everything.
It'll be
No.
worth something.
Yeah, look, I'm holding on to the hope. No, because my nephew really wants to own it when he's older. But I promised him, thinking 5 years is a lot of time for me to talk my way out of this, and so I want him to drive something safer than what I drive.
Right.
So naturally, But I named her Red Betty. His is Goldie Hawn because it's gold,
Yeah.
colored.
I'm
But
going
yeah,
to assume that question extends to us. I can't
Yeah.
say what.
you can't say what. Yeah.
No, you cannot say why.
You want to say what you want?
Yeah, sure. Mini Cooper base. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing exciting.
Well,
It's
did you
like-
want to talk about your thing about the Mini Cooper and how you were kind of
Oh
thinking
my god!
about
Yeah,
getting out of it?
Yeah. So yesterday when you guys were shooting and me and Nick were talking, I just told him that sure. I was talking to him about how I'm kind of getting fed up about the Mini just because the baseline, the base Mini Cooper, you can't really do too much to it tuning wise, and it also asks you for 91 octane because BMW, but also it makes barely 120 horsepower and
114.
yeah, like it makes up like it won't make 120 horsepower. It requires 91 octane, and it's not fast at all. So like it's just asking for money, and also anything breaks. BMW parts are so expensive.
You made a post like you spark
So,
like $85.
I don't remember how long ago it was, but I had to get new spark plugs, and these spark plugs cost me like $110 for 4 spark plugs because BMW. So I'm trying to like look either to see if anybody at the meet that has a base mini or
Buy this from me.
yeah, not buy it from me, but more like if they have any input on what I could do to it, because I started reading and there's not much you can do to it because without getting either an engine swap and a transmission swap and ECU tune, like a bunch of tuning done. So it's a lot more money for the base.
My JCW.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta buy a relatively cheap daily sometime this next summer. Either a Golf Diesel, a Mark 6, because I don't like the Mark 5's rear taillights, or a 2002 Subaru Outback wagon with
I'm looking
Matrix XRS.
I'm looking.
You will be
I
happy.
I after I saw the video,
8,400 RPM
after
red
I
line.
saw it, I started really considering it. I've always liked the Matrix. It's just like
It's yeah. No more super
Fine.
chats, please. They're wrapping up. They got to close the studio.
Food's almost
Food is
here.
happening.
I'm pretty sure food's already here. Yeah.
It's
almost
getting it right now. Okay, we're
food.
done with super chats. If we're done completely, I will gonna power through these like Matt Farah. Sorry, Matt, but that came out.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, his mom's calling.
Hang up.
Oh.
This is important, okay?
Stephen Ratmansky says, all right, fellas, I'm going to bed. Have a good night. Also, I don't know if you remember me from the PME, but I bought that red Yamaha Rad scooter. That was great. I like rad scooters.
Yes,
Ivan's holding up the food.
Calories on arrive.
Angry Clown 1990 says, you may have missed me before. I don't know. You may have missed me, but Roadkill Nights with me August 9th through 10th. My minute hand, it's the 4th.
I can't.
I don't know. I think VIP passes for 2 guys. I don't know, man. Hit me up on the DMs and maybe I'm not in front of my calendar and my dick is on my calendar and my dick, I mean my heart. Stephen Ratmansky says, scroll to the bottom. Scroll back up. Hey, RCR, I recently bought a 2002 E39, but we'll get it. But some misfortune, someone hit me at a stop sign and totaled it, so I got another with the insurance. Excellent.
Ooh.
Well done.
Wait, you gotta go back up.
Scrolling back up. My dick goes up. Steven Rutsmansky, I drove around 40 miles each way over the mountain. I don't know what that means. Is that
Context.
I forget. It might have been related to something that we were talking about before.
Okay.
But no, you already got those.
Yeah,
So,
you already got all those.
Scrolling down.
Scrolling
down.
The food is moving over there like the
Leroy
apocalypse.
Brown.
Down. We're done.
All right, we're done.
Linus
So-
text tips. Linus text. Nice.
All right.
Thank you very much, guys. We're out of here. Check the Twitter. Hopefully, I'll do my best to meet every single person at the meet tomorrow night. Sorry, it's short. It'll be short and sweet, just like Double Double. Local reference.
Ezra Pound. I said Leroy Brown for some reason.
All right.
All right. So I'm Nick.
I'm Brian.
He's Andreas.
Andre.
Oliver. And from all the guys at Visual, good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Yes.
This is weird.
Good night. Yeah.
Like, just last week, I was in those comments. Now I'm here.
And
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Food time.
Okay.